Welcome to Pepperl+Fuchs Plugged In, where automation professionals can stay in touch with the latest enhancements in sensing, data communication, and control.
Welcome, everybody, to today's episode of Pepperl+Fuchs Plugged In. Today I have Corey Okunzi with me. Hello, Corey.
Hello, Helga.
Corey is a product manager for, amongst other things, for our encoder line, and I want to start today's episode with a little trivia for him, actually.
Okay.
So, Corey, this should be easy. What do have crane systems, steel mills, and wind turbines in common?
Well, that's easy. They're all excellent applications for our ENI90 line of incremental encoders.
All right, that got us a sneaky way to get into the topic. Yeah, ENI90 encoder family. So, family means we have a bunch of different models, I take it?
That's correct.
So tell us about those models.
Well, the ENI90, it's a new encoder family. It's got the BlueBeam technology like we have in our other ENI encoders, and they're intended to replace the RHI90 series of incremental encoders. Basically, there's three models. We have the ENI90IL for industrial line, which is the most basic version, the most economical. There's the fewest options, but it's very good for a wide variety of common applications. So that's really what it's intended for. It's made from die-cast aluminum, but it's not painted. Then there's the ENI90 premium line, or PL. That's for more demanding environments and has a lot more options that you can choose from.
And we're going to get into some of those, right? I need to ask you about that.
Right, yeah.
We'll get into the details. Yeah.
Definitely. And then the third version is the HD or HO version, which is designed for much more heavy-duty or extreme conditions.
The first thing I want to ask you about is BlueBeam.
Okay.
So what is BlueBeam?
BlueBeam uses a blue light instead of a standard red or yellow light inside the encoder. And the reason for that is the blue light.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. I was going to ask you why does that matter?
Well, blue light has a much narrower wavelength. Therefore, it has much higher precision when it reads the code disk. It's kind of similar to how a Blu-ray disc works versus a DVD. So Blu-ray, you can have much more information on a Blu-ray disc than you can just a standard DVD because it has that blue light that's reading the disc as opposed to a red light for the DVD.
Okay, got it. That makes sense. So what else is there? The way you introduced this family to us is sort of, I want to call it good, better, best. That's the approach we're taking here. And can you give us a relative sense? We're not going to go through data. That's all in the data sheet, but give us a relative sense of good, better, best. What happens as you go from one to the next?
So the industrial line, as I was saying, is the most basic version, and it has the fewest amount of options, and it's the most economical. It's designed to fit into most standard applications, and it's probably going to be the highest selling version that we have. It's made from a die-cast aluminum, but it's not painted. The premium line is for much more demanding environments. It's also made from die-cast aluminum, but the premium line version is actually painted to help with those demanding environments. Premium line adds a maximum shock and vibration resistance, and it also is insulated with ceramic bearings to give it a high dielectric strength to help protect from electrical surges from outside sources.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, ceramic bearings, due to their hardness and their precision, also positively impacts the maximum RPM we can get with those products.
That's correct. The premium line and the HD line actually are capable of going up to 6,000 RPM, where the industrial line can only go up to 3,000 RPM. Also,
okay, double the speed.
Right. And those ceramic bearings also increase the lifespan and allow for a little bit more extreme applications.
What about shock and vibration? After all, these things get mounted. You know, we started out talking about wind turbines. I mean, there is vibration.
Right. That's where the premium line and the is probably going to shine the most, or shine brightest, I should say, because it has very high shock and vibration resistance built into it. The HD version does as well, but the HD version is for even more extreme conditions, like outdoor conditions and places where it's going to get sprayed with water and things like that. There's also an HO version, with the O standing for offshore. So the offshore version, instead of being die cast and painted, it's actually made from bar stock. It's turned and milled. That way it has, it's a different composition of metal to resist seawater.
Okay, excellent. Got it. One thing we didn't talk about, but I definitely have to ask you, is the shaft versions. The ENI90 is a hollow shaft design.
Yes. So far we have hollow shaft designs. Industrial line and premium line are completely hollow shaft, where the HD and HO versions are what we call recessed hollow, where it's hollow on one side, but it's a solid on the other. So the shaft only goes halfway into the encoder.
So consequently, the follow-up question then is, how are these devices mounted?
Well, all of them are mounted in a similar fashion. Obviously, the hollow shaft version goes completely around the shaft, which goes completely through the encoder, where on the HD version there's a recessed hollow, where it only goes halfway in, but they're designed with tapped holes at 60-degree increments around the outside, so that you have a very wide range of mounting options, which direction you want to mount the encoder itself.
And what about the torque arrest? We need torque arrest in these designs.
Yes, we do. The industrial line only comes with one spring plate, but you can always order more as accessories. The PL can be ordered with a single or a dual. And the PL, or premium line, also introduces an adjustable swivel arm. So if you have an application where you have to mount it and the actual mounting point is fairly far away from the encoder itself, that's going to be your best option. The HD version also can be ordered with that swivel arm, and there's a few different types of spring plates and that you can order, which can be seen on all of the spec sheets as well.
Okay, good. So we covered the application, we covered the difference, the good, better, best approach that we took here. Let's switch over to the electrical interface.
Okay.
How can these encoders be connected to the control system?
The industrial line, or the IL version, only comes with a cable with a rubber bushing. So again, that's the very basic version of the ENI90 series of encoders. The ENI90 PL, or premium line, you can have it come with a cable, or it also has an M12 or M23 connector, as well as a 7-pin or a 10-pin mil-spec connector. And then the HD and HO version, they also have the pre-mounted cable, or in this case, the user is able to mount their own cable if they want to. And if that's the way that they want to do it, it will come with a whole set of cable glands and bushings, so that it'll be well protected from the environment.
So why would anybody want to do that? Why would anybody want to run their own cable in when they can buy a unit that has a cable and a connector from us?
Well, in some instances, the cable is already there, and maybe the cable is a certain type of cable that is designed for that particular environment. Maybe it's a high temperature or a harsh outdoor environment, and they want to use the same cable without having to rewire at the machine level or put a new cable in that might not have that same protection, or it's already got the perfect length to it. So they just simply attach the cable to the encoder itself and then use the appropriate cable gland to protect it from water intrusion.
In other words, it's the flexibility we offer the customer. That's what it boils down to.
Right, exactly.
Good. Corey, looking at the clock, we need to come to an end here. As you know, your job is going to come up with a 5-word statement of what our listeners need to take away. And while you think about that, I'm going to attempt to summarize the conversation. And please tell me if I forgot something critical and if I made a mistake. So the ENI90 family follows the good, better, best approach. It's a very good product in its base function. And as we come to the performance line and the heavy duty and heavy duty offshore, we get better in terms of shock, vibration, and also speed and not resolution, sorry, in terms of maximum speed.
Correct.
Applications, as we mentioned earlier, are things like crane systems, steel mills, windmills, but of course not limited to that. Those are just the ones that we think we shine. The entire line utilizes BlueBeam, which is a unique technology from Pepperl+Fuchs. The reason is blue light has a shorter wavelength, and it adds extra precision to the product. And Corey, you compared it very nicely with DVD versus a Blu-ray. I think that's a good mental image to have. Did I forget anything critical?
Nope. I think you covered all the bases there.
All right. So that means it's your turn. What are the 5 words?
Well, the 5 words would be buy the best, buy BlueBeam.
Buy the best, buy BlueBeam. That's 6, right?
No, because BlueBeam is 1 word.
It's one of those marketing terms. BlueBeam. Okay, 1 word. Hey, Corey, thank you very much for sharing this time with me. I hope our listeners are getting something out of it, and they can certainly always come to our website, get some additional information. We shied away from datasheet because nothing you can put on paper is ever worthwhile remembering. So therefore, go out, take a look at the detailed data. It's a great product. Thank you very much, and thanks for coming and listening to Pepperl+Fuchs Plugged In. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Pepperl+Fuchs Plugged In. Please subscribe to our channel and never miss hearing about the latest innovations in factory automation.